Hi, this is 365801 and this is another video for the hashtag 25 days of manga. I'm going for the tree prompt, which is to read a manga by the tree. So actually I have been reading this on and off for a couple of days while I'm up here doing some filming and when I'm editing and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of think that this kind of covers it. It's got a lot more tree in the shot now. Hope that helps. So this is Unsophisticated and Rude by Momoko Tenzen, and it's published by June Manga, and it was published in August 2009, although originally in Japanese, July 2005, a long time ago. It's a series of one-shots, so it's a whole bunch of short stories, and even then, back in 2005, some of them were very old. One of them, the last one in particular, was written 6 years earlier, so back in 1999, a very long time ago. So yeah, and I was reading it this week. Yeah, so the title story is the first one. So just as a proviso, I was reading these, but because they were short stories, I thought I could just read one. Because I keep forgetting what the stories are about, literally this is just a whole June Manga thing, isn't it? I thought I'd make myself little voice messages so I could be reminded. The one for Unsophisticated and Rude is hilarious. I was thinking maybe I should just put it in this video. I might not. I might just repeat myself because I still feel the same way. Anyway, I thought it was funny listening to myself complain about the first story. Unsophisticated and Rude. Rude is how I would describe this first story. Rude. It was rude. Okay, so the first story has two boys, Satoshi and Hiroto, who are like best pals, and Satoshi confesses to Hiroto that he has a crush on their senpai, now senpai, in the basketball club. Hiroto is surprised but is supportive because he loves Satoshi, Satoshi loves him. They are quite open about how loving and caring for each other they are. I really liked their friendship. I thought, cool, I like Satoshi, he's open. He's like, yeah, I'm probably bi, I guess. Do you hate me? He's like, no. I like that. I thought it was a really nice, touching story. At this point, I'm thinking, we're doing well here. This is a good story. Well done, Momoko. Carry on. So, then now Senpai gets introduced, and he's a bit of a, sexy biatch. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's the blonde one on the cover. He exudes, I love that phrase, exudes sexuality. I was like, yes. Yes, Satoshi, you've got great taste. Well done. Only Hiroto's a bit, it's from his point of view, so he's a bit like, oh no, I'm not really sure about, you know, ooh. And then there seems to be some sort of sexual tension building between now senpai and Hiroto. And I was like, don't go there. Your best pal just said he has a crush on him. If you had a crush on now senpai, that would have been the time to say, oh, dude, I'm bi too. Or, actually, I'm gay and I like the same guy. Oof, you know, we must have great taste together. Whatever, you know, could have gone down that threesome route. That would have been fine with me. But, no. This is how it played out. So, turns out, this is really, really rude. Turns out, Hiroto and Nao Senpai have already had sex. They had sex a few, weeks earlier when the whole club was away on some training camp. Hiroto did not tell his best friend Satoshi, even though in the story he says, I love you, Satoshi. You know that. Yeah. So? Anyway, Satoshi's trying to get in on Nao Senpai and all that, you know. He confesses. He gets shot down. Nao Senpai's like, nuh-uh, and is walking away. And Hiroto gets a message from Satoshi saying, oh, I just confessed, and he said no. And instead of going round to his best pal's house to comfort him, no, he's like, oh right, yeah, okay, so he said no. Great. Legs it out the door, down the road to find Nao Senpai to confess his feelings. Nao Senpai's dead happy about that because he's always liked Hiroto in the first place. The whole time I'm thinking, yeah, great, but what about Satoshi? Your best pal! Oh man, rude. Rude. Anyway, it was hilarious. I mean, I laughed a lot, but also the whole time I was thinking, what about Satoshi? And I was kind of a bit annoyed, so I was thinking, if there's not a story about Satoshi in this volume, like, I hope she did. At that point in time, I was really rooting for Satoshi, like, a Satoshi story somewhere. He's like the one that didn't get anything out of this story, so at that point, rude. I chose this, you know, my lover over my best pal. Anyway, so that was story 1. Let's keep our eyes and ears peeled for a story about Satoshi for the rest of the volume, shall we? Okay, so the next story is Pretender. And it was about people pretending to go out with each other, or going out with each other but pretending to do so, or like pretending to be lovers but not really being. So there's 2. Manaka has a total crush on Katase and is like, hey, how about it? Katase's like, no, but we can pretend to kind of go out for 2 weeks but actually just have sex for the whole 2 weeks. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, Katase's like, yeah, actually I've loved you the whole time. And that was kind of it. So they were pretending, but they were actually going out. It was a bit silly. And I'm not the only one that says that. Momoko Tenzin says it at the end as well. Her comments at the end of this book are hilarious. I actually really enjoy reading the mangaka's like own thoughts about their work. It's quite funny at the end. So there's another one about what's it called? Midori Vivid in My Eyes. And it's a really long story, but it's like, what even happens? So this guy is sitting on a bench and a fuzzy hairy caterpillar's on his shoulder, and this young guy comes along who's in college and is like, hey, I'll just take that caterpillar off your shoulder in case you get like stung or something. And that's him, he's in love with the guy. That's it, that's all it takes. So apparently Momoko Tenzin says if someone did that to her, she would instantly fall in love with them too. She hates bugs that much, so okay. But that's kind of all it is. Like, the guy dotes on him and eventually wears him down and they're happy together. It's nice. Okay, so there's another story called Second Love, and it's about a guy called Haruno who goes to a like class reunion, and there's a guy there called Uenaga who he doesn't recognise at all. And everyone's like, oh, but that's Uenaga, right? You know him. And he's like, I have no memory of this guy. And you would kind of be a bit, you know, like, it's not even been that long. They're still quite young. And you have no memory of this person. I mean, sure, if they looked completely different, you would think that would be the case. So maybe he just looks really different. Anyway, so the 2 of them end up becoming really good friends. But there's always something odd about it. And yes, you guessed it. Something awful and dramatic happened, and he wiped him from his own memory. At any point in time, alarm bells would be ringing for anyone else, but no, he falls in love with him. Ah. Yeah, I was not impressed with that story. It was short though, which was a blessing. And then the last story, which was written 6 years early, so that's the one that was written in 1999, is about a boy called Yukihiro and another boy called Tomo. And the fact that Tomo loves Yukihiro and constantly says he loves him, and so he says it so often that he doesn't actually believe that he does, because he's flippant and not being sincere, whereas actually he is. And then they fall out because of that, because they're both actually in love with each other, and they're not believing that they love each other, and then they get together in the end. That's the last one. You may have noticed no other mentions of Satoshi. What happened to Satoshi? I was so annoyed when I finished it. I was like, hello? I feel really bad. Like, she just left him hanging. So, let's find out what happened to Satoshi. This was the mystery. Okay, let's just find out what happened. This is Satoshi. This is Satoshi in the back. She drew a special picture of Satoshi just to put in the back of the book. For no other reason than just to remind you once again that he doesn't have a story. These are the comments that she's written in the back of the book. I really love her comments. I like a lot of the mangaka's work at the end when they start going through things. And to be fair, the second love story that I didn't particularly like, she mentions that, what does she say exactly? And then I used it in a story. As for the story itself, I wish I'd gone more in depth. It feels a little shallow and I regret that. It does feel very like rushed and shallow, and there's not really much heart to it. So yeah, I agree with her in that way. But over on the other side, when she's talking about unsophisticated and rude, she says, I should have drawn more scenes of Hiroto and Satoshi making out. What? Like, literally, she writes, what? But also, yes. Like I said, if it had gone down the 3P route, I would have been totally fine. Of the two, Satoshi looks like he'd be more popular. Yes, but vaguely. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with everything she says there. I'm sure he has his own story. And that's it. That's all she writes. Nao's a little too aggressive, but I don't hate him. It's like I want to yell, go more, at him. Yeah, I totally agree. Nao Senpai's cool, so I totally see why he likes him. But I'm sure he has his own story. That's all she says. She's the one supposed to be writing it. Hello? Ugh. So disappointed. So what can I say? Rude. Rude. This was rude. This was rude on behalf of Satoshi. This was rude. And just a wee extra of Satoshi at the end there for you, just in case. Do you feel bad for him? I feel bad for him. Maybe he should be my mistletoe moment, you know? Maybe I should get all the ones that don't end up with anyone. That's a good idea. Maybe I should do that. Yeah. Anyway, this was Unsophisticated and Rude. And I felt it was rude. Merry Christmas.